importing an image and importing a vector file, I'm going to explain a little bit of a difference between the two different file types now, because it'll be apparent between them once I show that in here. So let's see, I have Photoshop open and Illustrator's on its way to opening up. There it is. All right, so from Photoshop, I'm gonna go ahead and open up my document that I created, and I'm going to open up an image inside the document. I'm going to keep it at its normal size first, and I'm going to open up the vector file I have, and I'm going to go ahead and bring that over into Photoshop using the copy paste method to make a smart object. Okay. All right, so first off, I'm going to zoom in on my image here. This is a raster graphic. So this image, it came in at, let's see, what size is it? 22 by 16. Resolution is 72, so that's why I was a little bit smaller on the screen. So this is as big as the file is going to get. I'm zoomed in at 100%, so this looks nice and clean at this size. All right, I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Okay, so I expanded it quite a bit. I'm going to zoom back in at 100%, and now you can see all this graininess here. So this is pixelization. Whenever you take a image and blow it up, zoom in, make it bigger, just keep expanding it. The Photoshop is trying to fill in all that pixel data whenever you expand it. The image was already at its optimal size when I brought it in here. This right here, this is as big as the file is. So when I try to make it bigger, Photoshop is just filling in all that space with, you know, adjacent colors. So it looks, you know, it just doesn't look great. So it will look the same as if I zoom in at, you know, 500%. You know, Photoshop doesn't think like that. It knows what a document is at, you know, its full size, 100%. So when I zoom in to some outrageous number, you know, it's trying to give me a representation of what it'll look like. So that it's pretty much the same as whenever I enlarge the file, you know, more than I should. You can see that it's, now as I'm enlarging it, you can see those little jagged areas. It doesn't know what to do with that until, you know, I hit accept, and then there, it tries to smooth it out. It tries to smooth it out, not always succeeding. So when you're working with raster graphics, it's nice to keep that in mind. You know, you want to start with an image that is big enough in your document so you don't need to overly enlarge it. This image here, I can enlarge it relatively okay in here at this size. When I zoom in, it's not going to look perfect, but much better than when I had this, you know, a lot bigger than my art space. Now for a vector file, it works a lot differently. Instead of, you know, using, you know, pixel data like this does, a vector file is pretty much a mathematical formula in Illustrator. These, I'm going to come in Illustrator real quick and show you. There are little nodes all over this, so there's curves all over this, and this program knows that, you know, there's always going to be this specific curve through whatever point one of these are. Let's see. So like this point here, you know, it's always going to know that there's this specific curve there, no matter how far in I zoom in. So right now I'm at, you know, 1200%. I can keep going in, keep zooming in, and it's always a smooth curve there. So whenever this transfers even into Photoshop, Photoshop knows that, see, I'm past 100%, so even in Photoshop doesn't know, anything past 100%. But this is nice and smooth, and I'm going to enlarge this significantly. Well, let's just type in a giant number here, 2,000. So 2,000 times its original size, and it's still crisp and clean around all the edges, even when I zoom in to 100%. So it can fill in that data easily because it's mathematical. It knows what the curve is. It knows all those points. So any vector file can enlarge freely without any distortion. Raster graphics cannot. So that is the big difference between them. And when you're working with an image file, a raster file, it's good to start big because you can always go smaller. Thanks for watching our video. These are offered by the Solvent Printer Guys as a form of instruction, help, or support to our current customers, future customers, or anyone who finds them useful. Go ahead and click the subscribe button below if you wish to be informed about any upcoming tutorials or FAQs. If you have a suggestion for a video that should be made, please leave a comment below as well. The Solvent Printer Guys offer ink, parts, and support for a variety of Roland, Mutoh, and Mimaki printers. If you have any questions about our products and services, feel free to visit us on the web at solventprinterguys.com.